Hey Rock on Beer viewers, welcome to an FABQ session, which stands for Frequently Asked Beer Questions. If you don't know what this is, it's like a video thing going around. It was started by the tasting Nitch over in Paris, a fellow American expat. She has a great channel. She does a lot of beer news, which I think is cool. So I will link that down below or up here or somewhere. There will be links to her video and to her channel. And she tagged people. You're supposed to tag people and have them like give their answers. And I was tagged by Peter, the master of Hoppets, who he does beer reviews. He is located here in Denmark, where I am. He's actually Danish though, unlike me, which yeah, so Peter, thanks for tagging me. I will put his channel down there too. Anyway, that's a nice segue into, so there are 9 questions. I've got them on my phone here, but you're also allowed to bring in questions that you just get asked frequently. This is like from beer to people who do beer on YouTube, who they get these questions a lot, and I do recognize a lot of them, but I'm gonna start off with my specific question. Hi, I'm Alex. I am American, but I do not live in America. I get that question probably the most. I live in Denmark, and then the follow-up question is usually, why do you live in Denmark? I'm married to a Dane, and I work here, and this is where I've decided to be, is Denmark. So yes, I am an American expat who lives in Denmark. So that's like my #1 question that people get confused about. So let's get into the ones for the actual video. Question 1, how did you get into beer geeking / why beer? That's a good question. I've been asked that a lot too. So I'm originally from Michigan. If you don't know Michigan, it's the state that's shaped like a hand over in the United States, and they have a lot of breweries. Michigan has hundreds of breweries, and even when I was 12, I've lived here for 8 years, but even when I first was able to drink 12, 13 years ago, there were a lot of great breweries. I went to university over in Grand Rapids, which is home of Founders, and it's just down the road from Bell's Brewery, which are 2 really well-known Michigan breweries. Dark Horse was also really close to us. So yeah, I grew up around good beer, and it was just available like at every bar, like next to the Miller Lite taps and next to the Bud and Miller taps were always like Two Hearted Ale from or Centennial or All Day IPA from Founders. Cheers. So it was only a little bit more expensive to have one of those beers, and so I just kind of I started out drinking in a place that had a lot of good beer. And when I moved to Denmark, I had a lot of time on my hands while I was dealing with the immigration stuff. So I started this blog where I would just go to supermarkets and I would just buy all the weird beer, not all of it, but like beers that I had never heard of the breweries or the style or something, and I would take a picture, drink it, write a little blurb, and then put it on Tumblr. And that was the beginning of my blog, which morphed into a real blog and then morphed into this YouTube channel. And so that's how I got started with beer. That's how I got started talking about beer. Was I was bored. I had nothing else to do but drink beer. And so 2, what's your favorite beer? Pretty much like everybody else has said, this is kind of a question that's hard for anybody who's like me. I've had literally thousands of beers, just thousands upon thousands of beers. I love to try different beers. I'm not even gonna try and say what one is my favorite. I'll give you a favorite style, which is IPA. That's what I always find myself like gravitating towards. If I'm gonna have a beer, it's gonna be an IPA. Usually, but I love trying different beers, so I'm just constantly trying new beers. But so probably if we're going back to favorite IPAs, then I'll say Todd the Axeman from Ama is my favorite IPA. And yeah, so I hope that answers that kind of question. It's a little vague, I know. Number 3. If you had one beer forever, what would it be? Yeah, I guess that's the same kind of thing. I'm gonna say All Day IPA from Founders, just so I don't kind of waffle on this question. So I'm gonna say All Day IPA. It's a great session IPA. One of my favorite beers, just incredibly easy to drink. Yeah, and I think that's what I would want. Number 4, how can you drink so much? How do you stay healthy? So this is a good question, and this was actually the one I was most interested in. I don't get asked a lot myself, but I was interested in what other people do. Well, obviously, like drinking a lot, it takes a toll on your health. I'm lucky in that I'm not overweight, but I'm also not, where I want to be but I don't ever really tend to gain tons of weight from drinking. But right now I'm doing a diet and I'm trying to get more healthy again, because I have noticed that, the lifestyle has taken a toll. But I think like Peter said in his video, portion control. I drink a lot of beer, but I don't drink a lot of beer, if that makes any sense. I drink a lot of different beers, but I try and keep it like, this is a small-ish glass, and this will probably be like, I'll only have one of these today. I try and only drink like one beer in a day with dinner or something, or if I'm shooting a video. I like to share beer. I share a lot of beer. I like, especially bigger bottles of beer. I definitely share those with at least one other person, if not more. So I think that's, but yeah, it's something you have to be careful of. Yeah, drinking, it'll get you. But I guess that goes into the next question, number 5, which is a kind of a crappy question, but I guess a lot of people get this. I guess I've gotten it before. Are you an alcoholic? Are you an alcoholic? Well, hi, my name is Alex. I am not an alcoholic. No, I'm not an alcoholic. I think maybe that comes from people who don't drink very much, or don't. I don't know. I don't know where that's an icky question for me, because I drink a lot of beer, but I drink it usually socially or as like part of a hobby. So, but I could stop at any, I can and do stop. Sometimes I don't drink for, weeks at a time. It's not something like, it's not a craving. I don't crave alcohol. I just, I enjoy drinking different beers, and especially with friends and stuff. So it's not not a craving for alcohol. It's just it's a hobby. So no, I'm not an alcoholic. And that's a weird. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Number 6. What's your favorite ingredient? Ooh, favorite ingredient in beer. I'm a home brewer, so I'll have. I'm not gonna go crazy into this, but I'm gonna pick the same thing that Peter did. Hops. Hops are my favorite ingredient. Yeast and malt and all that, they're all very important. They're very big factors in beer. But since I'm such a hophead, since I love IPA so much, I feel that hops are the most important for me in beer. And I think that there are just so many hops and so many combinations, and they just do different things to beer, different styles of beer can be hopped differently, and yeah, so I really love hops. I love the taste. I love, yeah, everything about them. So hops it is. Number 7, do you brew? Yes, I do. I do indeed brew. These are my beers. This is my kegerator in the background. If you take a look at my channel, it is mostly a homebrewing channel. I do beer reviews just because I like to drink different beers. But yeah, mainly homebrewing this channel. So I do brew, and I love brewing. Yeah, I've been brewing for, I don't know, 6-7 years now. 6, 7, yeah, 7. Let's just say 6. 6 is a good number. Yeah, 6 years. I really like brewing. Come a long way. Dabbled in professional brewing. You know, yeah, I brew. The answer to that question is yes. All right. Number 8, what was your first beer? Oh, well, I wish I could say it was a good beer, and I thought I had a picture. Recently when I was home, I was going through a photo album, and I found a picture of my dad giving beer to a baby, but it was my little sister, not me. But I would guess that my dad was a big Busch Light drinker, or Bud Light, so that would almost certainly be my first beer, was Busch Light or Bud Light, some kind of light macro lager. Yeah. Number 9, who in the beer world do you look up to? This is a yeah, this is a good question. I know a lot of people said like Michael Jackson, guys like that. Yeah, he was awesome, great guy, great for the beer culture. But I'm gonna go like more towards home brewing and brewing in general. So it's usually brewers that I look up to. So you know, or home brewers like Jamil Zainasheff. He's home brewing legend. Charlie Papazian also. You know, Michael Tonsmeyer, who's done a lot for American sour beers. That's really awesome. I think he's done great stuff. The Mad Fermentationist. Yeah, that's. And yeah, just yeah, brewers in general. Just anybody who's out there brewing beer and experimenting and stuff like that, I look up to, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, that was number 9. That was it. Cool. That was the end. Sorry, I can see I took up a lot of your time. The number counter is up here if you're wondering why I'm doing this, so I can see how much time of your time I've wasted. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off there. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was informative, and yeah, it was cool to be tagged in this. I think it's a good idea. I think, yeah, Q&As are fun. So there was mine. All right, cheers guys. So I think I'm supposed to tag people. I almost forgot about that. You know what, I'm not gonna tag anybody specifically in the video, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a link to this in, I think it's been a lot of beer reviewers who have been in here, so I'm gonna put a link to this in the homebrewing, the brew tubing community on Facebook, and I'm just gonna open it up to like anybody. So yeah, that's what everybody who brew tubes, I'm gonna open it up to you guys. So thanks for watching again. Check out my channel. Check out I'll put some channels down there. I'll just put a big list of channels. And yeah, cheers. Thanks again.